Alright, so previously on Malleus Machinorum, the party had escaped from the mirror with Nicator and his fellows, and they stand now at the top of the tower in the former Baroi Manor, looking out across what they unleashed upon the town. To the left and across the Dimar River, they see the church of Zon-Kuthon in flames. It's the flames from inside the church reaching up to the top of the tower. And further across the river, they see signs of people being hunted down and houses being burnt in the human side of the town. And further, along Garon's Way, which from the top of the hill and inside the tower of Baroi Manor is just about how far you can see, down towards the edge of the forest there, you can see the Nidalee army camp, which after about a day seemed to spring up overnight like mushrooms. Closer to home, just behind the manor, you can see a ramshackle army camp of the Fetchlings' own. Just a set of tents and some shacks, and Fetchling soldiers doing drills. There were either more of them in the mirror than you had encountered, or they found willing volunteers from Shade Alley, which has notably been renamed Pinktown. Apparently they expect the humans to live there. But that was all last week. Today, after the meeting with the envoy, some of the damage has been repaired. The army camp behind the House of Night remains. The army camp behind the House of Night remains in place. The soldiers still doing drills, but the one on Garon's Way near the forest has been almost entirely dismantled, and only one small tent remains. Apparently the Nidalees have left an observer to ensure that Nicator abides by what he said he was going to do. Closer to home, the Fetchlings and Nicator have decided that transplanting the humans from the human side of town to the Fetchling side of town is an exercise in brutality that after a few days of rest, and they're not really willing to go for. So they've deprecatingly renamed the human side of town Pinktown. Shade Alley remains. From the tower you can also see that the church has not been repaired, but it is in the process of being repaired. Large, flat planks of wood lay over top of the gaping hole in the roof, and you can see scaffolding up the side where Fetchlings work mostly at night. I was going to say day and night, but mostly just night, scrubbing the side of the church. What's also apparent to you is that the whole valley that you're looking out across is noticeably brighter than it was when you arrived. You can see that some of the houses in the village have started to have repairs being made, but others stand just burnt out husks of what they were. Apparently some of the people in Karthat didn't take kindly to the Baron being deposed and fled, as the Baron's wife did. You can also see the edge of the bluff and the chandlery there. the light's now not on in the chandlery. And that is caught up. What are people doing?
You said that there's
Got a question. Who are the Natalese?
That's the country you're in.
yeah.
That's the country we're in?
Yes. After you escaped from the mirror and there was various attacks on the people in Karpan, some people had the thought, let's flee to the capital city. The capital city, by the way, is about a day and a half ride away, or, 1 day if you're going as fast as you can. And so 2 days later, not the whole army, but a detachment from the army arrived at Karpan. And the envoy from the Umbral court, the rulers of Nadal, is the person who you met with yesterday or the day before?
The day before.
Day before.
So I missed something here. So how long were we in the mirror, and how long have we been outside the mirror that all this occurred?
You were in the mirror for about a day or 2 days, and you've been outside the mirror for almost a week now.
Oh, I see. And in the week, somebody fled to Natalie's capital, got the army in, and they fought and destroyed. And now the Pink Town is being attacked by the creatures from within the mirror that got loose. Is that what happened? Like, who attacked?
No. You have to. You understand that when a force conquers a city, sometimes the lust for battle, it doesn't go away just because they broke the walls or just because they escaped from the magic mirror. And lots of the people from Nikasor's group went down into the village and started hacking at people.
I mean, you could have told us that during downtime. I would have gone and stopped it.
The battles.
That would have been that would have been a good downtime activity.
Yeah. Oh well.
That's okay.
They didn't burn down too many houses.
Okay, and the net result is they've now been.
The net result is that they, after just the first few hours of doing that, they lost the adrenaline and all that, and they decided to come back to the House of Night. The Church of Zon-Kuthon was the first place that they burned. And so that was in the first few hours after you escaped from the mirror. And immediately after that, there was a lull as people went back into their homes and tried to make sense of what had happened. And then a day later, or 2 days later, the detachment from the army arrived, and a few days after that, or immediately, there was an inquisitor who was going around asking questions of people. And then, the day after that, the inquisitor and the envoy came to the House of Night to negotiate. And that's what was in the town.
Cam then proceeded to make a terrorist deal, and Shinneber's deal that they made, and now we've got to go steal a thing.
Thank you for reminding me, Tank.
I have myself on push to talk now. I figured it out.
Okay. So you can mute yourself and then talk that way. Where's Cam gone?
So Cam's
Oh, it says I unfortunately cannot be there tonight. My data is being really stupid. Okay.
I told them to try turning it off, well, on then off, and I said off then on. That's generally what I do to fix my internet.
It does often
That's
work.
certainly a good idea.
And so, so I guess Cam will watch the recording that I'm making. Excellent.
Okay, wait. You have recordings, and I'd love to watch them. I'd love to see
I-
pretty much
I-
all of everything.
I only made a recording of the previous session and now of this one. Unfortunately, I didn't start with the first session. That would have been so much better.
It would have been awesome, and we could have just posted on YouTube, and then we could have all just watched our D&D campaign for us hardly ever knowing each other, to us just completely talking all the time.
All right. So,
Anyways, my hands are still in the things where I can't bend my hands, so I can't do spells,
Yes.
correct?
yes,
Okay.
they've been put into locking gauntlets and such.
I'm gonna ask if I can get my hands out, or if I still need to have them on.
Like, out of character, are you going to burn everyone?
Do it?
Out of character, are you going to burn everyone?
No, I'm not. I told you I
Okay.
retracted my statement.
Yeah, okay. They get a sense of that too, and they do release you.
Doesn't mean I'm not gonna play with fire in my hands, though, but I'm not gonna burn with everybody.
They lock your hands again. No.
So the trouble. So, just to make sure I understood the implication of this. So there was trouble. The trouble is gone, and the military from the Nidal capital have now left, and the community is in repair and getting back to life as normal. Is that what the bottom line is?
Yeah, the bottom line is the community is getting back to normal. The Nidalese army detachment that came here did not do any combat. They were there primarily as a show of force, rather than just have the ambassador show up by themselves.
So I was thinking we should ask around to see if there's anything we can do to help rebuild the town and whatnot, and try to set up kind of a better government. And then we go to the capital if everyone says no.
I don't want to say no yet. I'm still a little intrigued now. So what happened to all the disease and the growths on people's necks and all that? Is that all gone now?
That all stopped the moment that you interrupted Nikasor inside the mirror.
Okay. So then our job is done here, because that was our primary focus, wasn't it? Is to kind of help them out. And I thought we have a journey to continue, do we not? Aren't we on the big map? Aren't we heading north toward? Don't we have an overall mission that we're still on? And
Yeah, I
we've
actually forgotten what our original mission. What was that?
To overthrow Thrain and destroy everything.
Okay, so I think this is just my guess, because it was like, back in February that we started, so we've been doing this for like 6 months now. So I'm thinking, that we are doing all these side quests so we can gain higher levels so we don't get our ass kicked by the Thrainish army. So we should continue to try to gain levels, unless we really want to just try to push to the Thrainish to go to the capital.
D&D isn't a game where you putter around and just grind out levels to get more powerful. That's not how D&D works.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this out here. This is the longest I've ever been in a campaign, so I'm pretty lost on what to do now when it comes to D&D. All I know is supposed to roll things and fight things and not set people on fire.
So on a related topic, sorry. I was going to say on a related topic to our overall mission, could we go to the big map and just see where we are relative to where we originally were going to go, just to kind of a level set on where we are and where we're going?
I've moved you over.
My roll 20 is stupid.
It's in the middle of the map.
Got it to work, but it's not working.
Okay.
So
Maybe I fixed it. Nope, I did nothing.
So
Okay.
Oh,
is this spot right here? Is that the capital?
yeah, the blue flag is the capital city. I'm going to remove that.
Okay.
And let me just, because I need to do this now.
So you're going to move in on the map a bit.
Just give me a moment. Oh, wrong one.
Yeah, certainly open to different strategies. Let's just get a level set on where we are.
You're not actually moving all these days travel in a moment. I'm sort of lightening the map a little bit.
Okay, sounds
Because
Go beat up that ferry in the basement of the candle shop. That lying little ferry in the bottom of the candle shop. We gotta go beat him up.
kind of with Laz on this one, but kind of understand that we need to not cause any more damage that we already have, and I'm kind of just all in for trying to figure out if there's anything we can do to help set up a government, and if not, we need to okay, hello, let there be a map, and then set up a then go to the capital.
So, we don't have to worry about the government because in our little meeting with the ambassador and their little brute squad people they had in there as well, the son of Baroy is going to be the governor of the little township area, with Nikasor functioning as steward until the son of Baroy is old enough to actually rule on his own. So we don't have to worry about here, except for maybe putting out some fires and making sure people don't beat up on each other. But that ferry down in the basement of the candle shop has pissed me off at this point, because they did nothing. I want to go beat them up.
We gotta try not to piss off the locals. I can understand where you'd want to beat up the ferry, but if anything, we should just go give it a stern talking, and if just threaten it, like if we hear of you killing people again, then we should just threaten that we come back and kill it. Basically, just kind of like, if you do this stupid thing, we're gonna go kick your ass again.
And I'm of the opinion. I'm kind of with you on that one. I'm thinking our work here is done, unless I missed something along the way. Our work is done. We've destroyed the mirror. We dealt with the issues related to the promise made and promise broken. Although the army had to come in and fix the troubles that started, it's now settled down and people are getting back to life as normal. So to me, I unless I'm missing something, I look ahead and see what the road looks like out of the city and talk about the possibility of moving on.
So yes, we have to do that as well, because Fletch has gotten themselves into a bind where if they don't go steal a thing, then they're gonna get exploded. So we have
How
to
much
go
did I
help.
miss after I fell asleep that day? I'm gonna go back and read.
Read what? Yeah, go read the downtime stuff, because Fletch did something stupid. I don't think Fletch should ever have agreed to the smash and grab, but we got a smash and grab to go commit and bring the item that go steal back to the brute squad, so that we can Fletch doesn't get blown up, so that we can keep Fletch around for a little bit longer, because there's a crystalline insect thing inside of Fletch's chest, like a ticking time bomb, which is reset once a day by the ambassador's brute squad.
it's actually reset by the ambassador herself.
Okay, so then I guess we're gonna have to go do the smash and grab and then go to the capital. What? I couldn't find what we're stealing, but I did read it. I skimmed read it as much as my brain would let me.
I have no idea what we're stealing, because they did a mute spell, a messenger spell, to where only Fletch could hear whatever was being stolen. So
I thought I wasn't affected by this. I thought I wasn't affected by the
You weren't
spell.
affected by the truth spell. No, you weren't affected by the
Hey,
truth spell.
hey, Laz, how old are you?
Spell is different. I'm 35.
My voice crack.
It's the microphone.
It happened.
Anyways, but yeah, I at this point we kind of have no choice but to do it. I mean, can Fletch tell us what he has to steal, or is it we absolutely need Fletch to do this, and we're fucked if we don't have Fletch in the party with us right now?
Fletch explains, not with a little, gnashing of teeth about this, that they can absolutely tell you guys, because you guys are obviously helping them. And so Fletch explains that on the island of Hermea, which you've never been there before, you do know that it is west of here. So the idea is to head downriver to Nizra.
Assumingly the map
and then charter a boat.
This is north, this is east, this is south, and
Yeah.
this is west.
Yeah, Thrain is south of you, and the ocean is west of you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that no directions were suddenly changed and we weren't dealing with
No, it's correct. North is north. North is up. Not
assumingly
east.
in all campaigns that map directional is all the same. We're not dealing with any.
Well, no. I've dealt with east up maps before,
That sounds very interesting.
but this one is north. North is up.
Okay.
Fletch explains that they are just trying to avoid being killed and executed, and worse than death that was promised to them because of the crime of killing the Baron. That's apparently a crime. Who knew? And the crime in Nidal,
Shocking.
crime in Nidal is punishable by such means as they can invent, which is quite a lot. You've dealt with the mirror that they created. And so, yeah, being locked away for thousands of years in a mirror, it's not a great way to spend a summer. And so they agreed to this, mostly to save their own bacon.
All right, so I guess we have to go get this smash and grab means just,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go steal this thing.
As for the item
Yeah,
itself, that they're stealing, the ambassador doesn't know either.
The what doesn't know either?
The envoy, the lady who was coming from Pangale, from the capital city, she didn't know either. She just knew where it was.
Okay, so assumingly if we kill the ambassador, that resets this is out of character, but assumingly if we kill the ambassador, we put the ticking time bomb in Fletch, Fletch dies, and there's no way of doing this, and we can't threaten them to disarm it without one of us, because our intimidation rolls are pretty shitty.
What the ambassador told you, what the ambassador said was that there are 3 commands that she can use. Number 1, she can cause the crystal to explode instantly and kill, i.e. me, Fletch, instantly. B, they can cause the gem to not explode for a period of 24 hours. And that part of the spell they intend to cast every morning when they wake up. So that's nice of them. And the third action they could take is to cause the thing to extract itself from the chest and turn back into a gem. But they're not going to do that until they have this damn item that they don't even know what it is, but they know where it is, and we have to go get it.
Okay, so my next question, this is going to be in character. can I ask the ambassador lady to teach me that spell? Because I'm thinking if we have to go all the way out to the fucking ocean, can she teach me that spell so I'm able to cast it on Fletch as we're walking to keep it from exploding on them? Does Fletch need to be in the same room as that person in order for the spell to be cast, or is it kind of like whatever? It doesn't care where I'm at or where you're at. It doesn't need to be. It can just be casted.
If you're present there and you ask the ambassador this question, they respond with no. If you could do it,
Yeah, I knew that.
then what hold would I have over
I
Fletch?
cannot understand you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry. She laughs and says that if you could cause this thing to not explode, then what hold would she have over Fletch at all? The answer is none.
So is there any way I can like give you something and promise of return? Like, hey, we're gonna go get this. I would just don't know if you're gonna cast this spell every morning while we're gone. I just don't know how it works.
She jabs her finger. She jabs her finger towards Fletch and says, "That's your guarantee of return."
Hey, so how do we know that you're gonna cast a spell every morning? Like, I'm not trying to be hostile. I'm just trying to get even grounds going on because right now you have. I'm all okay with trying to go get this thing. I'm all down for doing this because we're both trying to help each other here. We kind of pissed you off, and that's understandable because we did kill somebody. But we're at the same time we're trying to. I want promise that you're not gonna forget to do the spell, and Fletch explodes on the way back, and then us get pissed off, and then a full-blown war happens.
She says, well, a war probably wouldn't happen, but you might encounter the army. Secondly, it serves my purposes that you bring this item back to me. And if Fletch, as you put it, explodes, then I presume, if I were in your position, I would take the item and use it against myself. I don't...
But you don't even know what the item is.
Well, you,
Okay.
At this moment in time when you're talking to the envoy, Fletch hasn't had the opportunity to tell you all that. But,
Okay, so-
yeah.
You never answered my first question though. Does Fletch have to be in the same room as you for you to cast that spell, or can Fletch be in the middle of BFE getting the item, and you cast the spell and Fletch the timer resets?
She says, that's not your concern.
It kind of is, because if
We can kind of assume that Fletch does not have to be present by the envoy for this spell to be reset. It is a reasonable assumption because we know the envoy's not coming with us. Therefore, if we're going on a B&E and we're not near the envoy, it must not have to be cast in the same room.
Tink, roll a Arcana check.
okay, 2 shakes of Limto.
While you're rolling the Arcana, I'm gonna take a picture.
A picture?
Yeah, hang on.
16.
It occurs to you with a 16 that this sort of thing, the envoy would likely need to see the target in order to reset that timer.
Okay, so going with that, knowing that arcane thingy-mabob. If out of character, if we threaten this person and we roll poorly, what are the chances of them just attacking us and making Fletch explode?
Fairly high.
Okay, so there's really no winning this. Like, if Fletch just tells us and we go get it, does Fletch have to be the one to go get it, or can we just leave Fletch there so Fletch can get the timer reset every day and then we go get it?
No. The envoy sees you puzzling this out, and I don't know how much of what you just said you've said out loud. But the envoy says, don't worry, I have my ways of keeping an eye on you when you're beyond my sight.
Did you say side as in like the side of my body, or sight as in I can see this?
Sight, as in I can scry on you at any time and figure out where you are and what you're doing.
So basically like a crystal ball?
Yes. Yes, in fact, exactly that's what it is.
Wait, y'all can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I walked a bit of a distance. Yeah, the picture thing is all about not getting my daughter and all that bullshit. So, all right, time for me to start driving.
Okay,
I'm
be
still
safe.
listening.
Be safe.
I
And
mean-
no, oh shit, and then randomly hanging up.
Oh, I would
Hey,
so
that's
do that.
because I lost connection.
That happened 2 weeks ago. I remembered that. I'm sorry.
It's fine,
So-
but that's because
so-
I lost connection. This
so
drive
DM?
caused me to
Yes.
go in and out of signal.
Quick, just to get the context here. So this ambassador or whatever wants us to go get this thing for her,
Yes.
and she's using Fletch as a bargaining chip to have us go get it. Fletch and we have really nothing to do with this object. She just wants somebody to go get it on her behalf. Is that correct? So she's
Yeah.
using him as leverage to
Mhm.
make sure that she gets what she wants. So essentially, we're being extorted.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Pretty much
what
exactly. That's what's happening. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, that made like a hell of a lot more sense.
Blackmail.
All right.
Yeah, this is a B&E based on blackmail, because Fletch decided to agree to a thing, and we could have fought our way out of the room.
Not with an entire army standing out there. That would have been pretty bad.
We've taken on armies before. We can do it again.
You don't have.
So
You
what-
would. Number one, you wouldn't have an army behind you this time, and number two, and more, I guess, pragmatically, there's all of 100 different ways to go than straight towards the army.
So
Exactly. So we didn't even have to take on the army.
So it's this little twitch. What does Fletch's conversation in that room have to do with our present situation?
Because Fletch knows that we have to go steal.
As Fletch explained just a moment ago in the rooms after the ambassador and them had left, Fletch, they gather everybody together, everybody in this party together, and explain the situation that they don't know, and also the ambassador doesn't know what this item actually is.
Yeah, we got that part. I just don't understand why they picked Fletch to be the victim.
Because Fletch killed the Baron.
Yeah, Fletch kind of neck stabbed the Baron.
Right.
Can I offer something real quickly? As in like kind of like in a deal and whatnot?
Yeah, it's not. There's no point in dealing. The envoys got
No.
the best deal that they
No,
can.
as in trade places with Fletch, as in have the ticking time bomb thingy and me, and not Fletch, because this is gonna sound really shitty, but holiday season's coming up, and I'm gonna be working 5 days a week.
Including Fridays, I assume.
Yes. So I'll be working Friday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday,
Oh boy.
unless I can get my schedule changed. And I've been working my ass off on trying to get it changed.
Oh boy. You'd think that they could just shift people around.
That's not how Amazon works.
Yeah, no, Amazon works as cheaply as possible.
Well, no, because so in Oklahoma, minimum wage is like $7.25, but with Amazon, I'm making 17 hours with my shift differential, and I'm about to get a $2 raise when we go into peak. So, but that's why, I mean, if this fails horribly, yes, I'll be sad that my character died. You guys won't need to. I won't. I won't be missing out on this because my ass is having to work 60 hours a week to get everyone's orders fulfilled.
Let's put a pin in that. The ambassador is not willing to move the gem to someone else. Yes, sweetie. Oh, okay. 1 second.
Well, my own thinking is if we could go get this thing
There we go.
and return,
Hello, baby.
and don't worry about Fletch,
Have a good
because
day at
if he's
school.
dead, we will attack, and if he's alive, we will know what the object is and decide based on that thing whether we want to do what they say. So once we get the object, we'll be in a position to negotiate and a position to decide what the next steps are for us.
All right.
Well, yeah, that's what we kind of have to do. We got to go to this island, get this thing that the envoy doesn't really know what it is, and come back with it and decide if we want to use. Well, we can't use it on the envoy until such time as the crystal is out of the envoy. At which point we fuck the envoy's shit up hard.
So
But if
we'll
we're
be in
supposed to go to the capital-
we'll be in the ultimate position of, I guess, negotiating power once we know what the object is. So
No,
I'm in
not
favor of going
entirely.
for it.
Yeah, well, that's the only option here. We got to go for the B&E.
Obviously, yes, we have to go for the object, but my thought is if it's obviously the ambassador is a spellcaster like me, and it could be just
Yeah.
something to take that could look very harmless, but if you put it together with something else, you could basically be looking at making a nuke to wipe out an entire city. And
Well, yes, but we're gonna have to kill the envoy to get it back, and that's gonna be the fun part.
yes, but if we have to go to the capital for our next part of the thing, and that envoy is from the capital, if we go in the capital,
Yeah.
we're fucked. Like,
Of a different country.
oh, capital of a different country.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
So,
Yeah.
the
so the
envoy is
ambassador
from
is
Nadal.
not from. So the envoy
So this
is
is
not.
No,
Thrain.
the capital's from. This is
Just
the capital of Nidal, not the capital of Thrain.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter. Let's just fuck a country up.
Okay, well, if that's the direction you guys want to go, I'm down.
I like a good rebellion.
That could actually help us
Requires a
overthrow.
lot of strategy.
Okay, so
Alright.
looking at this from a different direction, though, I mean, if we do that and we like fuck up the ambassador, embassy, whatever the fuck they're called, we could then, depending on how the status of the capital is, like if they're like basically slaves and working their ass off for next to nothing, that could help start a rebellion to help us overthrow the Thrainish Empire.
oh,
I like this plan. Let's do this. All right,
You-
to the B&E.
Okay, I'm down. Does everyone like that idea?
I'm good.
Okay,
All
then
right,
let's
we're
go do
gonna
this.
do a B&E. So what does this object look like? What information do we already have?
the information that you have, that Fletch can tell you, is that it is on the island of Hermea, which is a volcanic island,
Oh, lovely.
I am listening.
and on this volcanic island, in the mountainous part of it, towards the center of the island, there is a small-ish underground reliquary where ancient relics from a religious order are kept. Now, that religious order happens to be the Theocracy of Thrain. It happens to be the Church of the Master Builder,
I have no idea what theocracy means.
ruled by religious people.
Rule. Yep.
Or
Kind of like how
technically,
England was like way back in the day.
kind of how most of Europe was way back in the day.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it wasn't that
Have
long
you got-
ago.
Have you got a map where you show where the ambassador's from and where Thrain is and where this island is and where we are relative to those three things?
You're looking at it.
I don't see the island on that one.
What do you see?
Well,
I'm
maybe I
assuming
just
right
need
here
to.
is this island.
No, it's further.
All right.
Oh,
So-
sorry. What's the name of the island?
Hermea.
Okay, maybe I just need to go to a bigger scale.
There.
Oh, way out there. Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm with
So
you.
what you're saying is we have to go steal an item from the cult of the Master Builder, bring it back to the Nidalese, who are the cult of Zon-Kuthon, which is obviously going to start a war between Thrain, or we can use to start a war between Thrain and Nidal, which I'm totally okay with.
That would help
Let's
us. That
do
would
that.
help us. Yeah. Okay. That would help us in turn. Help us overthrow the Thrainish government.
Oh yeah, no, we're doing this the most blatant
Well, if
way
nothing else,
possible.
I'm dying of curiosity as to what this thing is that's so important.
Yeah.
And
Either way.
And I'd rather have it in my hands than in the ambassador's hands.
Wait, so if I'm a former monk of Thrain.
Yes, you
I
are.
should know something about this. I should know something about this reliquary on this island. Can someone roll Arcana or knowledge or
I will.
something for me? Because I'm driving.
I will. I'll roll. You have 0 in insight, 0 in history, 0 in religion. I'm gonna make it an investigation roll. As you go through the books in the Baron's library, looking for any reference to Hermea or any reference to this reliquary. And that's 1d20 plus 3. You're looking for any reference to these things. There's 20. Yeah, you find, you sort of have an idea of what you're looking for.
Signal.
And
You do. You
What is
look.
that
You
idea?
find it in a book that is about the. The first place you look is a book about the religion of Thrain, and what you find is that it has a listing of reliquaries. It has a listing of religious sites that house relics of the Thrainish. And as you scan down the list, all of them are within Thrain. There's no reference to this one.
So it's old.
or it has nothing to do with Thrain's religion.
It's probably old, because if
So-
it's a reliquary of the Master Builder, then the Master Builder is the Thrain's religion, and therefore it's an old reliquary that Thrain may have forgotten about, which means we can cause even more chaos.
So,
Look, I have an insight of +4. How about if I
You also
do the
have
same?
religion as a skill.
Yeah, +4. Yeah, let's do that one then to investigate what this thing is that's so important.
You
what
can roll.
It could be, I guess. Okay.
Guys, I am racing a massive storm. It's really pretty.
Gosh, terrible. I only got a 9.
As you're driving, Laz, you could pull out your phone and take a video. I think that would be a really safe thing to do.
Yeah, not
Are
while
you
I'm
being
driving.
sarcastic or not?
Oh, absolutely. So, Dan, with a 9, what you know is that quite often reliquaries are used to house relics that are important to religious orders.
No,
Forgotten
yeah, okay.
reliquary.
Maybe somebody else could do one on insight or religion and try to figure out why the people from Thrain didn't go get it themselves. If it's so important to them, why are they
Because
hijacking us?
It's a forgotten reliquary. It happens all the time. It's also known as archaeology.
I have a +7 in history.
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
y'all hear me? Hello.
Little bit of a robot
12.
there. A 12 on history.
Y'all can't hear me at all, can you?
Yes,
we
can.
can,
we
but
can.
we're right in the middle of stuff. Yep.
Yeah. What Ines Celine knows from her historical knowledge is that Hermea has never been a territory of Thrain. It's all Hermea, the island, as far as you know, has always been sort of a free port, like a pirate port. It's
What
Kind of like
port?
Nassau.
Like
Nassau
a-
and parts.
yeah, kind of like LaSalle. It's basically a pirate port, a free port, where because of its location, sort of in the middle of this bay, it's a great location for smugglers and shippers as a halfway stop between,
So-
like, for example, Thrain and Nidal. They go there and then they go to Nidal, or they go there and then they go north to Varizia.
So what could have happened is it could have been stolen from Thrainish architecture, like agriculture, no, a dig site. I'm just gonna go dig site because I don't know what the other word is, and then taken there to Hermana. Yeah, I'm pretending like I know how to pronounce that right. And then it was
Oh.
left there, forgotten about, and then like the person who stole it got
Hermana
shot.
would have been a much better name for the island.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well,
Friend.
we've got as
Good
much
one.
information as we're gonna get from this stuff. So let's get sailing.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so if you zoom in on the map at like 100%, you can see the hex squares that you're on. And you can see the knight that's there. Each hex square is 1 day's travel on road or 4 days travel off road. There is a road from Karpad to the river, and that's the way that you followed previously. Any one of you can move the knight.
Do we want to try to go via the river and follow the river up, and see if we can barter for a boat?
And each square
I'm
you
not
move,
swimming.
each day you travel, it's I will roll 1d12 for any encounter you might have that day.
Okay.
So, sorry, are we heading right there? In that direction? When
Yeah,
you say the river, or are we heading up toward Pangolay for the river?
well, that's your choice. Seems to be about the same distance.
It does, doesn't it? We could go to.
Well,
Yeah, I
So
don't
if-
really care which one we go to. I thought by going to Pangolay, we could gather more information about same distance. So
Yeah. Oh, by the way, in case you're curious, each hex there represents 24 miles of travel.
that
oh,
sounds
okay.
like hell. Okay, so if the ambassador hardly knows anything about it, and they're the one in charge of them getting this item, you would think that whoever put the ambassador in charge. Oh, nice voice crack, Violet. The ambassador in charge of doing the putting the crystal thingy in Fletch would have told the ambassador the reason why they needed this so badly.
Roll insight.
No.
Okay.
Can
Give me
we
a second to
travel
see what my
quicker on the
proficiency
river
is.
than we can through these octangles or hexagons?
Rivers count as roads.
Pardon?
Rivers count as roads.
19.
19. What occurs to you is that Laz asked the question in that meeting, why not just send Nidalee agents? Why use this group of adventurers who was caught breaking the law in Karpad? You're very close to the answer for that.
It's simple. They don't want to cause an incident with Thrain.
So are you positive this item exists? This is me in character. Are you positive this item actually exists?
Fletch says, you're talking to Fletch now. Fletch says that they have no idea, but they know where it is, and they're gonna go there and see what's there.
Okay.
All
Worst
All right.
case
So there's some
scenario.
level of danger they're not willing to undertake, but they can kind of hijack us and get us to do it, and they take no risk. And by holding Fletch captive, they
that's
ensure that we
anyway.
come back.
All right,
Yeah,
then I'm gonna
basically,
turn
that's
to
what
the
we're looking at.
ambassador. If the ambassador's still there.
If you asked this in the meeting, sure, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this in the meeting. So, putting myself outside the group, I'm trying to be on even ground right now, just asking questions. So I see that you're not willing to put your own people at risk to do this, and so you chose us obviously because you broke the law, which is completely understandable. But if it wasn't for us breaking the law, would you have sent your own people to do this? Or is there something you're hiding from us, the fact that something could quite possibly kill us in the process of getting it?
What she says is that, yeah, there are things that I'm keeping from you, and no, I'm not going to tell you. And 3, you might notice that there's already gems missing from my necklace.
So, gems.
Those
Can I roll
did not
Arcana?
disappear by themselves.
Can I roll Arcana to see if that necklace holds any magical properties?
It
Yes,
absolutely
it
does. That's
the
the
gem that has
yeah.
the insect crystalline creature.
Okay. Can I see if I can roll anything to figure out what this? Can I just roll history and go to the library and see if there is anything?
Roll Arcana as you saw it activate.
Okay.
You saw it activate. You saw the creature crawl into Fletch's body and into their chest cavity.
27.
27. As when you saw the creature unfold, you recognized what type of creature that was, and you've heard about this necklace before. And you don't know exactly what it's called. It has a few different names, and out of character, I as a DM didn't exactly have a name for it yet. So don't kick yourself about that. But you've heard it referred to as a necklace of persuasion.
Then can I go to the library and see if I can find anything on the necklace of persuasion to see what happens if we get all gems in it? Because right now my mind's kind of going towards the Avengers when the purple guy, because his name totally escapes me right now, had all the gems. Thanos. When Thanos had all the gems in his gloves, and do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, you know that the gems don't grant any powers. Their effect is that they are these crystalline creatures that, crawl next to people's hearts. They crawl next to the closest source of warmth. As the command word is spoken, they sort of wake up, and then they do that, and then they go back to sleep again.
Okay. So right now, just knowing this about the necklace, we should go get the gem, and then I roll Arcana to see if I can figure out what the gem does, and if it's just like basically I'm gonna go drop a nuke on this thing.
All of the things that the envoy told you already match up with what you know about this item. Additionally, what you know about this item is that these crystalline creatures are notoriously fragile. There were stories before that you know about this item where people have tried to do surgery and cut open their chest and open the ribs and pull this thing out. But what it does is it wraps its claws around the heart, and it forms a cage around the heart of incredibly brittle crystalline glass so that it cannot be removed unless it goes back to sleep again.
But the heart's still able to function even though there's a cage wrapped around it. Like, there's enough
Just
space for
perfectly.
the heart. Okay.
Yes.
So right now we really have no choice but to go get this gem. So let's just start walking, and then we keep talking and walking because we're not getting there any sooner.
Agreed.
All right. To Pangolin.
We're off.
Wait, I thought we were gonna go take the river because if they were sent from Pangolin to do this thing,
Well, okay, we're going to the island, whatever the name of the island is.
Hermina, fuck it. The H
Hermia.
island.
I thought it was
Hermia.
Pangolin to start with.
Hermia. Yeah,
Oh,
and
and-
the reason he mentioned Pangolin is that to get to the river is an equal distance, whether you go to Pangolin or you go directly west. And,
Okay.
and then you sail from there. So it doesn't really matter which way we go.
We probably
other
have
than,
a better.
Yeah, sorry. Other than if we go directly west, we hit the river in about the same amount of time, but we are that much closer to the port where we would head out to the lake. So
And we could
I
probably
propose we
get a
go
boat.
west. Yeah, let's just head west and get to the river as quickly as we can and
Okay.
start sailing.
All right, I'm down for that.
Are there any
Okay.
towns or anything in between here and there?
No.
Nothing on the map.
Okay, well, when we get to a place with a boat, I'm sending a message to Thrain to inform them of a forgotten reliquary on the island, and that Nidal wants to take the item for themselves.
Oh
There's a
boy.
reason for this.
Yes, I can see that coming. I will write
Alright,
this down so I don't
Forgotten
forget it.
reliquary of the Master Builder.
Yeah.
All right, so we move one day, right?
At some point along the way, I'm sending the message.
Yeah, you'll probably have your first opportunity in the port city of Nizrock.
That'll work.
That's probably the first opportunity you'll have. Yeah, so go ahead and move your knight. Just
Someone
one
move it. I can't.
just one tile at a time. Okay. Go ahead, next tile.
I thought we were going
Okay.
to the capital city.
As a 10, what happens as you encounter the river? You come out of the forest, and by the way, this D12 I'm rolling on the side is encounters, in case that's not clear. With a 10, as you exit from the woods, and you can see down the hill a little ways, there's this river. You can see a few boats going back and forth across the river. And the road carries downhill all the way to the ford.
Okay, I'd like to respond to the question about why not Pangolin. I had asked previously, how much can you travel that much faster on a river than you can on land? And
No. They
they're the
count
same distance. Yeah, so if you go north to Pangolin, and assuming you travel at the same speed as you did if you're walking, then it's actually longer to go from Pangolin out to Nizrock than it is to simply go directly west, hit the river, and then off to Nizrock. To the
Okay,
tune of what,
let's do
two or 3 days travel, I think. We go 1, 2, 3 days travel to the verse. Yeah, so it's 2 days longer travel if we go north.
Ooh, pretty. Sorry, there's some gorgeous lightning strikes happening.
Nice. Any colored lightning?
Any what?
Any lightning with color?
Let me check the radar. I'm amateur meteorologist, so I can probably figure out if he's dealing with tornadoes and whatnot.
I'm in Central Texas. I don't have to worry about tornadoes. Tink, I already know what kind of storm this is. I'm not worried. I just have to outrun it, that's all, and that's pretty easy to do.
So you're somewhere in between North Cleveland, Houston, Ostis, and San Antonio. So I see the storm you're dealing with. It's just you got some pink. Right now, the biggest pink is around Bellevue, Cat Springs, and Peters.
Oh, that's far northwest of me. I don't have to worry about that at all. I'm currently on 105 between Conroe and Todd Mission.
Conroe and Todd Mission. Yeah, so the
I'm
only
on 105.
storm. Okay. So the only storms I see in Texas are the ones that are like near Austin and Houston.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I knew I was fine. I'm pretty good with storms. I'm a weather witch. It's all good.
Okay. Anyways, back to the original plan. I thought we were going to the capital to get a boat.
Yeah, I was saying that
No.
the reason that you just arbitrarily pick west because by going to Pangolay, it'll take 2 days longer to get to Nizrock than if we just head west.
All right, we're heading west. Let's go.
You head down to the ford, and you're able to negotiate passage on a boat, on a sort of barge that's going downstream.
All right,
It's
and
not.
now I'm
It
sending
is.
the message to Thrain.
It is the same barge as you encountered coming down from the Citadel on the mountains. That took you this far, initially, on the way to Karpat. And in fact, the man on the boat is the same ferryman.
Okay, so were there any issues last time, or this is just an uneventful trip from here to Nizrock then?
It's
An eventful trip, I'm assuming.
well, we'll see. Next.
But yeah, so I'm also sending the message to Thrain, informing them of the forgotten Master Builder reliquary that Nidal is trying to steal from.
Okay.
We have about a day or 2 days head start on them, so we can steal the item, get out of there. Thrain's going to be pissed off, attack Nidal, which will distract Nidal, which will give us a massive opening.
You'll likely have more than a few days head start on them.
Even better,
Right,
makes
so-
it easier.
So we pay the fee, climb on the boat, and head to Nizrock.
All right. Move one more tile. And one more. And keep going. And your trip down to Nizrock is entirely uneventful.
Kinky.
Woo.
Yay!
As you arrive,
So,
you arrive on the outskirts of Nizrock. It's a fortified city, and you know how the Temple of Zon-Kuthon was, with very skull and chain motif, with black rock walls, or at least cement painted black, and very black and silver, with all these skulls and different, very how did I describe it before? Engravings and carvings of people that appeared to be trapped in endless pain or ecstasy or something. The whole
So
the whole city here is like that.
lovely.
The ferryman just drops you off, and he heads into the small way station that he has there to get ready for the return journey back up to the mountains, and leaves you there just on the side of the river.
So we've got some options here. If anyone's uncomfortable, it's 2 days journey up to Albatross, a little island there, and maybe we could take a boat from there. That or head down to the coast and see what we can do.
hit the coast.
Okay, you walk through
Oh,
Nizrak.
I'm sorry, I forgot to press to talk. I was talking.
You walk through Nizrak to the edge of the water, where you find a large assortment of goods for sale in the market, and plenty of cages, some of them stacked on top of the other with there's humans, there's halflings, there's a
Excuse
few...
me, what?
I'm gonna go. I was gonna do original Pirates of the Caribbean, but I'm gonna go ahead and quote Jack Sparrow and see if I can start bartering to release these people because people aren't cargo.
We
Nizrak
really are not.
Nizrak is the second
I'm really not
largest
okay
slave
with
market in Nidal. The largest slave market in Nidal is in Pangalay, but this is the one that deals with outsiders.
Yeah.
Like us.
We're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I'm really not okay. Like that's not okay. The fact that there are people in cages. So either we're gonna.
Roll investigation. I want to find the person in charge of this market.
So my investigation is it's +4.
The short investigation that you do is fruitful. It's not hard to find people who claim to be in charge of the market.
Oh wait, so I'm not rolling for investigation.
No, it's not
Well,
difficult
no.
at all. They see you as potential buyers. They see adventuring types, and you are approached by more than one person asking if you'd like to purchase any of their slaves. They're very open about it.
I'm just gonna look him dead in the eye and say, are my hands still in the gauntlets? Or
Oh no, they took those off and they kept those in Karpat.
So I'm gonna look at him, point my finger at his nose, and say, "People aren't cargo, mate." And I'm gonna do it in the most piratish accent I can, just because I can.
The slaver is a little bit taken aback at this. He says, "No, of course not."
Then why do you keep them in cages? Because what would you do if you were...
They're not all in cages. Look around you. We don't have enough cages for all the slaves.
But why would you keep them in cages to begin with? I don't care if you are...
The ones in cages threaten to escape. The others...
Gee, I wonder why.
He gestures around him. And as you look around, you notice for the first time that there are lots of slaves around. On various errands and doing things for their owners. They make up about half the population of the city.
They appear to be well fed and well clothed and no.
A lot of them are.
Because when you say slaves,
okay.
When you say slaves, because there are different versions of slaves. Because back in Native American times, when they said slaves, they still treated the people that they captured like human beings, and they were still able to earn their freedom. Or then there's a different version of slaves where we're thinking of...
No. King, you are confusing slavery with indentured servitude.
Okay, sorry about that.
There's a huge difference.
Because the next thing I was gonna...
not okay with the word slave.
Yeah, you DM, you kind of struck a bone with all of us.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
My own thinking is that we're not going to change anything. So the question we have pragmatically, do we need extra people with us when we go to the island? If so, you could buy some slaves and bring them along with you. If not, start thinking about a trip.
We need to break. I want to break up the slave market.
I don't see how you can do that with half the people in that city being slaves.
Okay, that's called the slave rebellion. I am all for a slave rebellion.
As you're saying these things to each other in the market, you see the man you were talking to walk away from you, and you notice that the people around you are sort of giving you a wide space around you. They're leaving about 15 to 20 feet. You know, sort
Yeah,
of
they're gonna need a bigger space than that.
a space around you.
Let's start with something simple. Can we figure out whether we need other people with us, slaves or otherwise, when we go to the island?
We do not need other people, slaves or otherwise, to take on this island. There's about to be hell on that island raining down from Thrain itself. Not to mention the hell that's going to be raining down on Nidal from Thrain once my message goes through and they organize, which should not take very long.
Fletch,
Right now, I want to cause some chaos in this little market because I do not like slavery.
Fletch volunteers an opinion. Fletch says you could buy slaves and, you know, have them crew a boat on your way and see if you can buy a boat. I don't know if you can afford a boat, but you could get slaves to run a boat and help you get to the island, and then give them their freedom and perhaps give them the boat.
That would be my preferred strategy. If we need some for boat, we take it to the island. And if you want to start a rebellion, do it after we've dealt with the mission we're on now. We'll go back to there and we'll be in a position to do something.
See, my whole idea was to just basically go to a tavern and just kind of do a whole Pirates of the Caribbean, like where we get some people together.
We're gonna fuck shit up. I promise you that. But we'll rent a boat. We'll get to the island. We'll get the thing, whatever the hell it is. We're coming back, and I'm fucking shit up.
Okay.
I will wait that long, but I will not wait a second longer.
I'd like to, I don't know whose turn it is, but I'd like to have some insight as to whether we actually need somebody on the boat with us. And if so, do we have enough money to rent a boat and buy a few slaves? We can always free those slaves we buy when they help us on the island.
You don't need an insight roll to know that you don't have a boat.
Really? Never
Right. So
that's a critical problem for getting across the ocean.
We can rent a boat.
Yeah, we don't know if we have enough money to rent one, though. Do we have enough money to rent a boat?
I don't know how much money you have.
Basically, we're just buying passage to the island. That's all.
You have about 700 gold. 762 to be exact.
Okay, and then how much does it cost to rent a boat to get over, or to have someone take us over and back?
Yeah, well, we're just buying passage to the island. Once we're there, since it's a pirate port, we'll steal a boat back.
Same question, though. How much?
You walk through the slave market and down towards the dock, and you see that there is you see that there are, 6 or 7 ships at port right now. And you ask around for a minute, and you're pointed towards the, what's it called? The
Hermia, the island?
No, you're pointed towards the trade depot.
Okay.
As you go there, there's a board on the wall at this sort of warehouse type area. There's a board on the wall with different ships and where their intended destination is.
All right. Don't leave us in suspense. Any of them going to Promise?
No. There is one, though, that's going to Magnamar, which is up here.
Oh. Well, that's not where we're going.
Yeah, well,
Are there any smaller boats around, like fishing boats?
Yeah, but they won't go into open ocean.
All right. So we asked that person how much would it they charge us to take us to Hermia.
Make a quick detour.
Yeah.
You go to the boat that is listed as going towards Magnamar, in the knowledge that they often promise a stop along the way. They either go up the coast past Corvosa and Veldraine and around the coast to Magnamar, sort of this direction.
Okay.
Or they go straight into open ocean to Promise and then north, depending on what their goods are. And when you approach the vessel, what you see when you approach the vessel is this very elegant looking boat, all curved edges and filigree on the railings, but it also is really obviously sort of just a freighter, just an ordinary cargo freighter, but it's been embellished with gold and carvings along all the railings. It's clearly an elven ship.
Now, fit it. Better.
It's clearly an elven ship. And as you walk up the gangplank, you're stopped by one who looks like a young woman. And she looks at you and says, "Yes, we've dealt with your port people already, and no, we." And she takes a closer look at you and says, "You're not Nidalese, and there's you have an elf. You have it. Oh." And then speaks to the group in Elvish that welcome, come on board.
Probably should put push to talk before I start talking.
Yeah.
Just an idea. So I'm gonna respond back in Elvish. Is it just Fletch and I that are allowed on the boat, or are they allowed to the boat? And I'm pointing at
the elven lady looks at you and responds with a question in Elvish and says to you, "Well, that depends on if you're trying to escape from them. Are you trying to escape from these humans and the halfling? Or are you as a group traveling together?"
We are in a group traveling.
Then they are welcome, as you are.
Give them a thumbs up and say thank you.
By all means, come into the stateroom, and they lead you towards the aft end of the ship. You go into a room with a long table in it and 8 or 9 chairs. There's not a lot of space between the chairs and the wall. It's a boat. And but everything is as well made up in this really elegant fashion with all curved lines and everything. The lady who you're speaking with vanishes, not invisibly. She walks out of the room and returns with an older man, still an elf, but visibly old, visibly white beard, white hair, and the whole business. And he says, "Well met. Elves from I'm sorry, where did you say you were from?"
I can't pronounce it. Carpad? Carpool? Carpad?
Carpad. No, you can't be. That's here in Nidal. There's no elves that are native to Nidal.
I was raised in a cave.
Ah, that'll explain it. After the purges, lots of us had to go and hide that way.
Ye-
It's a good
I'm
thing we
obsessed
don't
with
have to
fire.
do that anymore. This ship is made of wood, but you are
Wait, oh
elven.
my god.
I'm sure you'll keep yourself under control. What business do you have with us? Surely not to come and threaten me with fire.
No. I did that like 20 hours ago to someone though. But
He blinks at you. He blinks
It
at
was
you when
that
you say that, and you
That's
say,
impressive.
and he says to you, "I hope it was Nidalee." But I assume that he had a good reason to be burnt alive. But let's not talk about that.
It was rather
Again,
impressive, I'll tell you that.
why are you on my ship?
We
So
need passage to the pirate island because we have to go get a thing so our friend Fletch here, as I point at Fletch, doesn't explode from a necklace of persuasion crystal.
can
You know, your standard snatch
just
and grab.
understand what the elvish lady is saying, or is she directly speaking to Fletch and I?
The elder elf has switched to common for the benefit of everyone. And he says, "Oh, one of those necklaces. I understand how they work." Well,
Yeah.
we are honor bound to accept you for passage on our ship. You were correct. We do intend to make a stop at Promise before heading north to Magnamar, and you're welcome to join us that far.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. We're
All right,
probably
let's
just going
go.
to steal a boat back, so we'll be good there.
And he interrupts you, Laz, as you're speaking, and says, "You have humans and halflings with you, and they may not be aware of our customs. As well, you were raised in a cave, so for your benefit as well, we will not charge you for passage, but you must work."
I'm down for that. I mean,
Okay.
hostage exchange for work. I see that as even.
It's not in exchange for work. You become part of the crew the moment you step on the boat. This is our
Can I
way.
learn
Yeah,
how to
part of the ship, part of the crew.
please? I raised my hand and asked that, like really shyly, because I've always kind of wanted to learn how to drive a boat.
We will have time enough on the journey.
Yay!
Good by me.
According
Let's do this.
to
Let's sail.
according to our seer, we should have clear weather the whole way. But you know how predictions can be.
Oh yes, weather is non-predictable.
So the only question is, do we need any provisions that we do not have with us, and when do we leave?
We have what we need.
The captain says that he has what he needs for the journey to Promise, mostly loaded into the ship. He was planning to take on a few slaves, but as well, this is part of Elvish custom. They become free as soon as they step on the ship, which is partly why they buy them here. They buy the ones that are most likely to escape because they get the lowest price. And then when they're told they're free, then turns out they don't want to escape, typically. But they're welcome to throw themselves into the ocean.
That does not sound fun.
That's not freedom.
Well, it's better than being locked in a cage.
really pisses
Not
me.
by much. Not by much.
Whoa, you're like hella wrong
I'm
for
gonna let
that.
you know. You might want to.
Where
Sorry.
we can't very well buy them and then set them free here. All here know them as slaves.
You can't.
If they wish to
No, you
disembark
can't.
from the boat, they can. They're free people.
Okay. I'm gonna let you slide on that one then.
Our next stop is Promise. Are you going to remain on the boat or disembark yourselves?
We're gonna
go.
Yeah.
But you're gonna want to make some really good time because I'm gonna tell you this now. Thrain's about to be really pissed. So make good time.
We go get a jar of dirt.
He turns to the lady who escorted you into this room and says, I told you bringing the halfling was a mistake. He says this in Elvish. I told you bringing the halfling was a mistake. Listen, halflings are trouble. He just said that he's being hunted by Thrain. Now we have to take him to Promise, and if he decides to remain on the ship, we have to take him where we're going. His trouble becomes ours. I told you, the elves only.
Oh, I can't understand it.
No.
Okay,
You sense a bit of anger, but not really directed at you, directed at the lady who allowed you on the ship.
So, my next thing is to be, Thrain is not mad at us. So, basically, in a nutshell, we don't like the idea of people being in cages. It is not humanitarian. And it's just like how when our own blood was forced to live in caves and away from what we knew growing up. I mean, how would you feel if your son or daughter or you were trapped in a cage and being sold as slaves? Wouldn't you wish for somebody to free you and so you would be out of that cage?
Yes. That's why I do this.
And that's basically what we're doing.
I make this stop in Nizrok when I have the time to do this.
So basically what we did is, what Laz's character did, whose name totally escapes me right now, as I point to Laz's character, is we sent Thrain a letter saying there are people being stuck in cages here and how it's not right.
Roll bluff.
Roll bluff?
Yeah. Roll deception.
Okay. 1 sec.
Yeah, because that's totally not what I sent the letter for.
Oh, that's actually what I thought you sent the letter for. That is me being 100% honest.
Well, roll diplomacy then.
Diplomacy. Okay, got
or persuasion. It's not called diplomacy in Favi.
Okay.
I was deceptive yet truthful. You just completely bluffed the hell out of it.
I honestly thought I was telling the truth, so I wouldn't know if that's bluffing or me just being a dumbass.
You thought you were telling the truth, so roll persuasion instead of deception. A 6.
Oops.
The captain of the ship turns to Oradal and looks at you, and he says, okay, I'm not going to inquire into your business. You have your privacy on my vessel, but he doesn't look stupid enough to send a letter in that regard to Thrain. They're slavers too. And
so I'm just being completely honest here. That's actually what I like. This is me in character. That's actually what I thought he sent the letter for. So I'm very sorry that I now learning what the letter was actually sent of. I'm very sorry for lying to you because, like I said, I honestly thought that is what we sent the letter for.
Well, Thrainish are slavers too, so informing them of slavery being conducted in one of their vassal states is unlikely to arouse their anger. I'll put it that way.
That makes sense.
You have one day here in town before we leave. And we leave towards the morning of the day after today. You are welcome to stay on board the ship if, like us, you don't wish to stay in any of these people's taverns.
Yeah.
I would stay on the boat.
I
You-
have an idea, and I'm gonna do a thing, and I'm gonna send the DM picture.
Yep. Sending me a picture.
So during the night, someone roll stealth for me.
During the night, yeah.
Roll stealth for me.
Okay, I rolled.
What did I get?
A 9.
9.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, fuck! I don't even make it out of the room sneaky then.
Got 30 on wall.
No, the docks are pretty well guarded at all times, and you unloading the gangplank. Sorry, I forgot to mention that they had brought the gangplank onto the boat at night. Or are you leaving immediately?
Say that again. You broke up.
Are you leaving immediately, or are you waiting until nightfall?
I was waiting till nightfall.
Okay, so as you emerge from the hold of the ship and lower yourself out of your hammock and walk up onto the deck, you see that the gangplank has been laid just beside the railing and is no longer there. But so you lay the gangplank across and you walk down, and you realize that this area is well guarded at night and also almost as busy as during the day. People are walking to and fro at various boxes, and although you laying the gangplank down and coming down out of the ship has been seen, it hasn't really been noticed by anyone walking by. It's just another person coming off of their ship after dark.
Alright, so I'm just kind of innocuous in my existence still at this point.
You're just some person who's got off of their boat.
Okay.
So I sent
Well,
a
I'm gonna
picture.
Let's see it. It's gorgeous.
Oh, hold on.
So the picture I sent, the one with Alyssa Swan, that's the outfit I'm gonna go get, and I'm gonna get a pointy hat, like the pirate one, and I'm gonna get a jar of dirt. Because if we're on a boat, I'm going all out for this.
Okay.
That's expensive.
I don't care.
That's really expensive.
I don't care. If I'm on a boat, I really want to do this. Pirates of the Caribbean is one of my favorite movies aside from Star Wars, and if I'm gonna be on a boat, I'm gonna play the part of being on a boat. Because Elizabeth Swann is the reason
Star
I
Trek's
wear corset.
better.
I was talking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Star Trek's better.
Okay, all movies aside, but like I said, this is one of my favorite movies. So this makes me really excited that I get to be on a boat. So I really want to look like this.
Okay. During the day, before nightfall, this is before Laz gets off the boat, you walk around the markets and you do find clothing that looks like this, and you find a floppy hat that looks like that one, and all together you spend about 150 gold.
Okay.
It's finely embroidered in that sort of yellow silvery thread, and it's a very black and silver motif that looks like you stole it from a Natalese nobleman. There's a nice big skull right on the on the hem down at the bottom.
Yes. Okay, and then I'm gonna
It
go find a
occurs
jar.
to you. It occurs to you that the Nidalee symbology of Zon-Kuthon is very piratey.
And then after I buy that and go put it on, I'm gonna go find a jar and I'm gonna go put dirt in it.
Yeah, you're gonna have a dirt jar. Okay.
So I can start saying, I have a jar of dirt. I have a jar of dirt.
It does not take you long to find those things, and you spend 1 silver and 3 copper on the jar.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Nightfall.
Yes. Night
I'm going to
falls.
the bathroom.
Go ahead. So, night falls, and Laz, you haul yourself over the side of the ship and walk down the gangplank, and you find yourself in the port. Go ahead. What are your plans? What do you do?
All right. I'm gonna find a corner, or a shadowy corner. Just kind of stand there for a little bit, watching, to determine who's got the key to a cage.
As you look around, there are people, and it seems like most of them are carrying keys of some kind or other. Or they're carrying them in
Who's
their
getting
coin
near a
pouch or
cage
something.
Trying to sell.
You make your way back to the slave market and stand off to the side. And you do see someone. No, you don't see anyone. You see the cages.
There's
The
no one. No one.
there are plenty of guards on duty, but it doesn't appear as any of the actual slave sellers are present.
All right. What are the cages made out of? Wood or metal?
They're made out of metal. And
Okay.
the floor of the cages, you're too far away right now to see it, but you saw that the floor of the cages was laid down with planks of wood and a thin carpet and a bedroll.
What's the roof of the cage made out of? Metal as well?
It's a metal sheet, like a tin sheet that they've laid on top to protect from rain.
Oh. Is it nailed on? Is the roof nailed on, or is it just kind of laid over?
You had looked at it before in the light when you were there, on your way through, and you saw that it was laid on top of the whichever. They're never stacked any higher than 2. They're never stacked like 3 or 4 tall. And they're not sort of Jenga'd in together. They're laid so that you can examine the people inside. And so it doesn't do good if the potential buyers have to walk up a ladder to go and look at it. The tin sheeting is just laid on top of the cages.
Okay.
Some of them are sort of brazed in place, but most of them are just laid on top.
Okay. How tall is it exactly?
Each of these cages is about 8 feet tall and about 8 feet across.
All right, so easy jumping then for me. All right, how many guards are around?
There's about
I have no idea what you just said. You broke up.
I'm typing. There's about a dozen.
Only 12.
A dozen that are
Yeah.
visible. There's a few houses close by that have their lights on that you're fairly suspicious of.
Okay. Roll stealth for me real quick again.
That's a 12.
Really? Even with my +7?
Yeah.
Oh. Right, so I'm just going to be natural and walk past.
As you walk past, visibly trying to be stealthy, the guards immediately notice you as you pass near one of the ever-present oil lamps in this part of the city, and they keep their eye on you.
That's fair. Hang on. I'm about to switch over to...
Otherwise,
Wow.
hang on.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Is that better?
Yes. What did you do?
I took it off of Bluetooth and put it on speakerphone. Just got home and I'm about to head inside.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna log on to the computer and keep going from there. But until then, so bear with me here. I'm trying to investigate these houses so that. Oh wait, I need to check and make sure there's no kittens nearby the door.
Kittens, I'm listening.
Hang on.
Yep.
Yeah, we're fostering some kittens right now because they weren't doing well in their other home. So we've got 3 kittens. There's Floof, Tree, and Flower.
I want
Oh, that
one.
works too. You can't have them. They're all basically spoken for.
Flower is my favorite.
Floof is mine. I like that name.
D&D group.
Oh.
Hi.
Hello.
Mwah.
Hi.
That's my fiance.
No, that's
Hi,
Tink. We still connected?
I think
Hello?
he's logged on to his computer.
Okay. Just give it a
Wait,
second
are
though.
y'all still there?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
I'm back. Y'all want to go potty? Let's go potty. Go potty before it storms. Yeah, that storm is gorgeous, and I think it's on its way here. Or it's gonna totally miss like they all do. Guy Kitty, you gotta get off my seat.
I'm not sure if you know how the way cats work, but once they have a seat spoken for, you can't exactly like make them move.
Not by talking. You can just push them. They're very small.
Hey, we do not push kitties here.
Yeah, you don't push kitties.
Will you send pictures of the please?
I can. Just let me do this stuff first. Hang on. What do I
Okay.
need? D&D Beyond, Discord, app.com, and roll20.net. Yay. Alright, things stop being shitty. Hang on. I'm sorry. Now I can actually roll for myself in just a
Good.
moment. And I can stop getting shitty rolls. Oh, shut up. I know I'll get shitty rolls.
I have no influence over this, and notably, I've decided for this campaign, I'm rolling entirely in the open. That's actually a change for me. I usually have a DM screen and I roll behind everything.
Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Very loud, yes.
On your volume.
I'm going to turn down.
I am now on my computer.
Yeah, I get that.
So do I.
Go ahead and talk again, Les.
Hello.
Sing a little song, please. Continuous sound.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's my handle, here's my spout.
There you go. I think I got your levels right.
Okay.
It was so good on the speakerphone.
I'm sorry, I don't
Was.
like my phone. Anyways, where are we at? Oh, we are me trying to be sneaky and failing miserably. Right. So, I'm going to investigate those lighted houses and see what's inside of them. So, let me roll. Y'all still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Investigation is +3. Really? Really? Damn, the dice hate me tonight. What do the houses look like?
As you look into the window of one of them, I don't know if you can see that. As you look into the window,
Oh, there it is. Okay.
as you look into the window of one of them, you see a table across the room from the door, which is here, and a desk, some boxes, some rugs on the floor, and there are about 3 or 4 people dressed in local Nizrak Guard colors that are sitting around this table doing something you can't see from the window. And as you peek up at the window, one of them happens to be looking towards the door, as you do, and immediately sees you. And you see him stare you directly in the eye and shake his head at you.
Alright. So back to the cages then, because I'm failing miserably at all of this. So the cages... Hang on, let me visualize this. How are we gonna do this? How many people are in each cage?
1.
One person per cage?
Yes.
Alright, I'm just gonna blatantly walk up to the cage and start talking in halfling to them. Screw it.
The question is, are there any halflings? Yes, you do see a halfling in one of the cages, and you walk up and begin speaking in halfling.
Hello, how are you? Are they treating you okay?
He looks up and he says, "You know, all things considered, not too good. I'm not in a great position right now. I'm a slave. You might have noticed I'm in a cage."
Get out?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And that is why they put me in the cage.
Okay.
They told me, as they locked me in here, that if I hadn't have tried to escape, I'd be sipping on beer and cavorting with halfling women, which I take to be a lie, but I took that to be a lie, but I think that being out and about is not, out of the realm of possibility. So you are not a slave. He looks you up and down, and he goes, "You're Thranish. You're one of them. Hey, distant cousin. What's your family?"
Quite feasibly.
What's your family name?
Tall fellow.
Oh yeah, you are one of them. Oh cool. Yeah, hey.
Yeah, so do you want to get out?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second. I'm
Oh,
gonna
wow.
investigate the barn.
The bars are steel. The bars are made of steel, and they are bolted together. And as you're examining the box, one of the guards walks over, and he calls over 3 or 4 more to stand close by. He says, Sir, you're here after hours. You can't purchase anything here right now. And he takes you in for a second, and he looks at you, and he says, "Oh, do you know him?"
I do. Oh, wait, hang on. There has to be the... I need to find the image I want to convey, because I cannot explain this properly. Hang on. Looking...
At this point, the slave hops to his feet, and he says, "Yes, yeah, he does know me. He's Franklin Tallfellow, and he's here to buy me and set me free. And he said that if he can't purchase right now, then he'll go crazy, and he'll just break the metal bars with his hands. He's crazy strong." The guard looks at you. The guard looks at you and says, "Listen, if you want to purchase this one, you can, but you'll have to wait until the morning. So please vacate the premises."
Hang on. There's a look I'm going for here. Upload. So this is kind of what I'm looking like. Just kind of looking up at this dude.
You're posting a photo in downtime.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, you are still wearing your... Are you wearing your monk gear, or are you wearing clothes that you got from the barony?
Or are you not wearing any clothing?
The only times I've not worn clothing is when it's been covered in acid, or burned, or... I think that's the only situations.
I get the image you're going for, the serene, stoic look.
So
I see the photo here. Do you have your eyes open or closed?
Open.
Okay.
I'm going for that whole calm monk intimidation thing.
Mm-hmm.
Without being intimidation, being total intimidation.
Roll intimidation.
Okay, fine.
You sound so
What is
defeated.
Who?
+2, okay. Alright, come on, rolls. Turn for me. Boom!
He sees you focus your energy, and he draws his sword, and he begins shouting that he needs help.
You will not need help if you unlock this cage right now and release this gentleman.
he hasn't quite shouted for help yet. But he's drawn his sword, and you can tell that he's about to. With the 20 on the die, and that's good enough. He sheathes his sword again, and he says that he doesn't have any way to open the cage himself. They don't give the guards the keys, so he can't really help you with that. But he didn't see you, okay? He wasn't here. He's on the other side of the square, and whatever you do to open these bars, he wasn't here. He seems to have believed the slaves' words about you being able to just open the cage with your fists, and he puts his hands up and he backs away from you. And if you watch, you see him walk not directly to the guard post, but off to a corner somewhere where he turns around and watches you.
Well, shit. But, okay. Wait, I have sleight of hand. Picking the lock would be sleight of hand, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you have thieves' tools and proficiency with those.
I do not, but I can use one of my darts to try and pick the lock.
Not sure that's how
You
that works.
really can't. It's
Alright, fine. I'm gonna punch the bars. I'm gonna use Flurry of Blows. Give me 4 strikes. Hang on. So 1d, oh no, 4d, 20, 20 plus 7. Yeah, plus 7. Did I change the dice setup properly? Separate. Yeah, I think that'll work. You know what? I'm gonna do it here. 40, 20 plus 7. Roll. That did not work the way I was expecting it to.
so you have 2 hits. You have 2 hits on the bar, and realize these hits that's overcoming the strength of the bar itself.
Yes, I know. Plus 4, is it? I can never remember my strike. Oh no, not 1d. That would have been insane. 1d6 plus 4. Oh, I know. 2d6 plus 8. Does that bend the bars enough?
It does some damage to the bars, yes.
Can the halfling now squeeze through?
No. Give me a strength check.
Okay. What the fuck? Right when I need the dice.
Where's that plus 3 come from? That's a saving throw, not a check. So that would be plus 0. So 4 plus 0 is 4. You do not have the strength at that roll, or even at a 20, to be honest, to to just grab the bars and bend them away from the cage.
Can I notice that Laz is missing, then go find him and try to help him out?
You do notice that Laz is missing, but Give me an insight roll.
Rolling now had to see if I had any proficiency in it.
Yep. It's +0.
Maybe I should write roll and not toll.
Oh, okay.
Do nothing.
You see him leave, and you hear him lay the gangplank down and leave the ship. And after a few hours, you realize he's not back, and B, it doesn't occur to you where he might have gone.
It have occurred to me that I have an idea where he could have gone, because we were both not feeling the whole slavery.
Not with a 5 there. Not with a 5 on the insight roll. That's what that was for.
And despite my actual feeling about how my character felt towards the idea of slavery, I have no idea where he could have gone.
You figure he could have gone for a drink to forget about the slaves being kept. He could have gone to try to find where one of these slave masters lives, to try to break into his house. He could have tried to find if there's any like underground movement that he can help. There's lots of places he could have gone.
Okay. I will
And the only place that you're sure that he isn't is the ship. The only place that you're sure he will come back to in the morning is the ship.
Okay.
It doesn't occur to you that he's in any danger because if he doesn't come back in the morning, then he's in some danger.
That's +4. Alright. Actually, I don't even need the acrobatics. I'm using the ring of jumping to jump on top of the cages and go through the tin roofs, because that's softer than the steel.
As you are standing beside the cage, you can see that the cage does have bars on the top of it as well. The tin roof is laid on top of the bars of the cage.
Son of a bitch.
Do you still jump on top? Do you?
I'm contemplating, because I've tried and I don't have the capability to get through the bars. I mean, I could drop another flurry of blows and see if I can do any more damage, but as you said, the strength check, well, that wouldn't really help any.
No, they are
So,
strong bars. They're designed to prevent people from escaping.
and does the floor of the cage have bars too?
Yes.
That would overlay.
Yes, it does. It has so how it looks is that there's the cage.
No, I get
Is
you
a
said to
cube?
say yes, I get the design.
Okay.
I get the design. I figured that would be the case, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to ask. Well, fuck. Alright, I look at the halfling and go, dude, I tried the straightforward way. Just tell everyone to be ready for when Thrain attacks to rebel against Nidal. And that's all in halfling.
He looks at you and says, "Why would Thrain attack? I mean, I can see you're Thrainish, but are you here as a spy? What's going on?" You can tell me.
A spy.
You can tell me. Just between us halflings.
Yes, but I'm not a spy.
Oh, too bad.
But the less you know, the better.
Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot. I'm good at not knowing things.
Yeah, exactly. The less you know, the better.
Great.
Tell everyone to be ready to revolt when Thrain attacks, because, well, Thrain's going to be attacking.
Thrain is going to be attacking. Thrain is going to be attacking their vassal state, Nidal. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can see the pieces in motion. They conquered the countries around, and the only country to sign a peace treaty with them in time of peace. They want to sign a treaty in time of war too. I can see. I can see now.
Yep, that's gonna be happening. So I'll be back.
Good. With your army. With your Thranish army.
Yep.
Spy.
No, it won't be my army.
I always wanted to meet a spy.
Well, you're gonna have to keep waiting.
That's what a spy would say.
I'm gonna head back to the ship because I am terrible at this apparently. But I'm gonna do it stealthily, or attempt to do it stealthily because I don't want the guard trying to follow me back and know where I went. There we go. That's a happy little roll. 25.
You do notice the guards start to follow you out of the square. And then you make some moves through an alley and up another street and through an area of pitch darkness, and you leave him well behind you, making a long loop back around to the docks again.
Okay.
As you climb back onto the ship, as you approach the ship, you notice that the gangplank that you left has been raised back onto the ship again. But it's fairly easy to use your ring to hop up the 15 feet from the dock to the side of the ship. I'm not going to have you roll for that, because if you fail, you'll just fall in the water, walk out, and try again. But you...
I've got the ring of jumping, which doubles my range, plus the step of the wind, which would double that double.
Yeah.
So I can basically jump anywhere. I'm Mario. It's a me, yeah, Mario.
Or, alternatively, you're that kind of Shaolin monk.
Yeah, there's that too.
So you hop back up onto the ship, and as you go to turn into your hammock again, as you go below decks, you see the ship captain sitting there with his pipe next to the hatch leading down, and he says to you in Halfling, care to tell me why you've been away? What business have you had in the city?
Well, let's just say I'm not a fan of slavery. So I've begun to foment a slave rebellion.
He shakes his head and stands up from the chair, and you see him walk back into the aft part of the ship where his bunk, or where his bed probably is. He doesn't really respond to you in that regard so much. But he does say as he's going that something along the lines of, you know that your trouble becomes our trouble when you set foot on this ship. I hope this business that you have won't follow us, but we do leave in the morning.
Yeah, leaving in the morning is good, and I would not advise coming back for like a couple of weeks.
He stares at you. What did you do?
Basically, the time it takes for a message to get from Nidal to Thrain and people to return. A large group of people to return. You might want to stay away a couple of weeks. It's nothing I did, but it's what is going to happen. The less you know, the better. Oh, did I get a message?
No, that was me rolling d20 for his insight check, which he got a natural 20 on. And he said, what your friends said about slavery and it all that you sent to the other slavers in Thrain, oh no, what did you tell them? You seem so sure that they'll send their army here. What was in that letter?
Religion.
Okay. I have no idea what that means, but we set out at first light and I need at least 4 hours.
Okay.
So, you have about 4 hours until first light. Laz, you have level 1 of exhaustion.
That's fair.
Everybody else, you're fine. And true to his word, as soon as it's light enough to see the edge of the harbor, you detach and begin moving out into the ocean. I picked up the wrong layer of the map. And you start making your way across open ocean. Roll, please. I mean, move yourself.
Right, roll on all of us?
Each.
That took a little bit longer than I was expecting. I was expecting better rolls than that.
Okay, move another one.
Oh, did you go in there?
And another.
Yeah, you went in there.
And another.
I'm gonna wait till you're done.
The journey so far over the last week on board the ship has been entirely uneventful. You've spent the time You've probably tied more knots in the last week than you tied in your entire life before this moment.
I beg to differ because I always have to tie my corset when I wake up.
Then you tie even more knots now.
Okay.
And everyone else, it is certainly true. You spend your time working rigging and pulling on things and listening to that lady who let you aboard the ship shout orders in Elvish to the crew, who do what she says immediately, and then you pass on what she said in common.
Does this mean you learn Elvish?
No. Takes more than having things shouted at you to learn a language. Trust me, I've lived in Asia for a few years.
No, but it certainly helps.
It does help, yes.
Can I walk up to the captain and ask her or him if I can grab the ship, please?
Yes. She remembers the question that you asked before, and it seems like there's nothing going on right now, so go ahead and pilot the ship.
Yes! Okay, I take hold. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really excited about this.
I'm forwarding you a response email.
Okay, so I grab hold of the ship
Oh, yeah.
and just look at her and ask her to explain to me what to do and just show me the ropes, basically.
She says that this is a sailing ship.
Didn't screw up at the same time.
This is, in fact, a sailing ship. And what that means, typically, is that whatever way the wind is going, if you don't pilot, that's the way you go. It's piloting the ship that sends you in a direction that is not the same direction the wind is going.
Well, that makes sense.
So, if you're just interested in standing at the wheel, and you can do that, and you'll be piloting the ship, technically. But she says, if you turn the wheel about 90 degrees to the right, Just spin it to the right twice. There you go. As you do that, you see you feel the ship drift slightly. You feel the movement as the ship drifts slightly left, and you feel the movement as you turn the wheel, as the ship just drifts slightly off of its orientation. She says the main duty of the pilot is to shout to the crew what they should do with the sail. And she briefly teaches you the set of commands of how they should adjust the sail. If they should turn it 45 degrees to the right, 45 left, straight ahead, sidewards, whatever. So if you want to say, unfurl full sail, and we'll head forward as fast as we can go, you can shout that now.
Okay, I'm not actually gonna shout it. I actually thought about yelling it, but it's like I don't want to hurt no one here, so I'm just like unravel, because I can't pronounce the other word. The sail fully, so we can go full steam ahead.
She says, "Okay, that was all the right. That was a few of the right words, but way too many words.
Yeah.
These sailors need to just do it as soon as you say it."
Am I allowed to say please?
She says, "That's too much time." She demonstrates and she says to them, I actually looked this up, so I'm saying the right words. Naval words, nautical words. Hold on.
Engage.
Points of sail. 1 second.
We'll look that up too, so you and I are looking at the exact same thing.
And what she says is, what you want to do, she says to you, what you want to do is turn your wheel to the right now, and she says, she cups her hands and shouts, "Attention, broad reach starboard!" And as you turn the ship, you see that the sails, as the crew hauls on the lines, the sails shift so that now they're fully catching the wind, and the ship is being driven forward but diagonally to the wind. She says, "Well done."
Thank you.
Tink, are you having fun sailing?
And what does she say now? She says, "You want to try the other way?"
Yes, please.
Okay. Haul the ship's wheel 3 or 4 times to the left now, and she shouts, "Broadreach port!" to the crew, and you see as you turn, the sails shift from about 45 degrees on your left side to 45 degrees on your right side. And you're now heading in the opposite diagonal direction, but also forward as the ship is going.
Yeah, please send me the picture you're looking at, the website you're looking at, so I can get it. So I can also look at it.
Yeah, there you go. Points of sail. That's what those are called.
I'm actually looking at the same picture.
So the orange arrow on this picture is the direction of travel. The blue arrow is at the top, the direction of wind. It's always pointed down on this chart.
What chart? Where? Oh,
I posted it on Discord.
yeah, I found it. I love sailing.
Did you get
I
onion in your eyes?
actually know how to
Okay.
Right?
No, it's just so beautiful. I've started crying. So yeah, Tink,
Sorry.
you can go ahead and move that. You spend the day piloting this ship and shouting orders to the crew. You can move this token 1 tile. Go ahead.
I have too many tabs open right now.
Okay. That day is also fairly uneventful, except for these fun side bits on board the ship. The crew does, they have a tradition for pilots the first time that they pilot a ship, and they aren't going to let you say no to this unless you want to take it up with violence. And they assure you there's no danger.
Act like a pirate.
Okay. What they do is they tie a rope around your waist and they throw you overboard.
Lovely.
And then,
wait, am I able to take off my hat so I don't lose my hat?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'll take off my hat.
They tie a rope around your waist and they throw you overboard as you're going full speed with the wind, and then they haul you back up along the rope.
Okay, I'm just gonna be laughing this entire time because I think it's because that's a little bit of freedom, like just the idea of the fact that there is no gasoline or horse drawn. It's the fact that this is being pulled by the wind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
so now my hair's all messed up, so I have the full pirate look going on. It's like there's seawater in my hair, and it's all good.
So it occurs to you that what this sort of hazing ritual is meant to establish is that, the pilot doesn't really control where the ship goes directly. You have some limited control over the rudder, but you shout what the crew should do with the sails. And then they do it. And they are the ones that are directly in control of where the ship goes. And so by throwing you overboard and then pulling you back on the rope, they're establishing that that's what they do all day.
I already understand it because I was doing the exact same thing that they were doing.
Wait, is there rope free? Can I do it too? I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna grab a rope and jump and swing.
You are able to grab a rope and jump overboard before anyone can stop you. Roll acrobatics, please.
I mean, okay.
You throw yourself overboard and you're just holding on to the rope as you crash into the water, and you feel it pulled back towards the ship. You feel yourself dragged along in the water as you climb back up the rope and back onto the deck.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's mostly for pilots, but okay. You've had your fun, and the sun is getting pretty low. And this area, actually, just north of the peninsula with Vire, some of the rocks come close to the surface around here. So I think we're going to stop and put anchor and take a break for the night. We are not going to make any progress overnight today. I mean, this night.
All right. Well, we're out at sea and on our way to Promise.
I say we keep going just till we get to the island.
Oh yeah.
And I have to head off, so I'm gonna go back to bed and sleep, and I'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Take care. Safe sailing. Don't sail too long, because I want to be there when we land.
Okay. I promise I won't destroy the boat. I'm kidding.
Yeah, please sail safely. Take care.
I hate these scams.
Okay,
I
I think since Cam and my dad are both not here, that I think here is where we should stop,
Okay.
and I will see you guys next week. Next week, the journey from here to here will be, a shortish time, and you will. I was actually planning to get to Promise today and end the session at the reliquary, like at the doors to it.
I screwed that up.
But no. It's your own choice of what you want to do.
I'm
But
down for
the
continuing.
reliquary itself will be ready next week. I will finish it next week.
Now that we're far enough out at sea, I can tell the captain what I did.
He is a little bit confused. He says that, well, you must have been misinformed. We're in open ocean. I can tell you exactly what I think. That the human cult of the Master Builder, that abomination that surrounds the barely divine Master Builder. No offense, Monk.
Oh, I'm not part of that cult anymore.
Okay. They are much too powerful, and much more powerful than they have any right to be. But I don't think they've ever had any possessions outside of Thrain itself. Are you sure you're not misinformed about Hermea? I've been to Promise. I've been to Hermea many times.
Oh, it's entirely feasible, but there's about to be a war because of the message that was sent.
Well, you told me about the message. You said that there's this reliquary on Hermea, and that Nidal is going there to steal from the Thrainish, but the Thrainish will receive that letter and think, we don't have anything on Hermea.
Well, that's why it was a forgotten reliquary. That's the point of it being a forgotten reliquary.
Son,
They forgot that.
I'm remarkably old,
Oh, I'm not doubting that. I know you're old.
and I think I would know if there was anything on Hermea.
Yeah, but they won't necessarily know.
Like, I was around before when Hermea was called Hermana, which means friendship in whatever language that was. But it's changed over time, and that language no longer exists.
Yeah, but Thrain won't necessarily know.
I doubt they'll send the army. They'll probably send someone to investigate what this whole business is.
We can work with that.
Mm-hmm. If they send one of their inquisitors, well, good luck dealing with them.
That's why we've got the head start.
Yeah, but they can potentially teleport there. They may already be there now. But if they did, it will be a small party or one individual to go and investigate this this reliquary.
Alright, well, I guess that's the end of the thingy.
And that is the end of the session.
Really would like just an idea. I know it's probably not the idea, but if we're gonna be on a boat, and I would like to have something to do with fighting on boats, so I can use a sword that I
We
have
will,
and just
if we roll an encounter on this D12, you have been making good time because you haven't run into anything. I have a whole list. I'm gonna just shake the papers towards the. You hear that? You hear that paper?
Yeah.
That's my shipboard encounters.
Oh.
You just haven't rolled any yet.
Okay.
We're lucky on the.
Okay.
So we've been rolling well on the low dice rolls, and it's annoying the hell out of me. I want to punch things because these people will be impressed when I start punching.
I just want to act like a pirate. That's my thing. I just want to act like a pirate.
All right.
But, okay.
I will add the experience today to the experience for next week as well. And I will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.